Welcome back in. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but what you think about eating, particularly when it comes to healthy eating, can impact what you eat. Joining us this morning to talk more about that is our diet nutrition expert, Dr. Beth Kitchen, and we're talking about three of the biggest mental traps when it comes to healthy eating. Good to see you this morning, Dr. Beth K.
It's good to see you too, Mike.
And I have this problem. Sometimes a healthy lifestyle in terms of what I eat.
That's right, Mike. And how we think about food and how we think about our diets can really impact how well we eat. And these are the three biggest mental traps that I see to healthy eating that can lead to some pretty unhealthy, even binging behavior in people and really throw people off. And so these are things that we can guard against too. So we're going to talk about how you can keep these mental diet traps away.
Talk about some of the more common ones people run into.
So the first one I call all or nothing thinking. This is the perfect diet trap. I'm either on a diet or I'm off. So I've got this perfect diet, and perfection is the enemy of healthy eating. A lot of people fall into this trap. And so if you're on a diet, that means you can be off a diet. So it's swinging between these two extremes, either eating a perfect diet or going, well, I blew that. I'm just going to eat, go back to my unhealthy eating habits. So staying away from this on a diet or off a diet trap is really important.
And what do you mean by good and bad thinking about food?
Good and bad food thinking. I really don't like the phrase good food or bad food, healthy food or unhealthy food. A lot of people ask me, is this a healthy food or an unhealthy food? There's no one food that's going to save you. There's no one food that's going to kill you. And so what we need to look at are overall dietary patterns. And so, unless you have a medical condition where you can't eat, say, gluten and wheat because you have celiac disease or you have a food allergy, barring that, I really try to pull people away from thinking of foods as being good or bad. Sugar is not toxic, unless you eat way too much of it. Blueberries, they're really healthy for you, but just eating blueberries doesn't mean that you're going to be healthy.
Yeah, it's like the accumulation of things. So, but also a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So this is one where people, when they get on a really rigid diet, and this is where that good food, bad food sort of come back in. This happens a lot when people are on very rigid diets and then they eat, say, a bite. Let's say Oreo cookies. You're not supposed to eat any Oreo cookies on your diet. And then you eat an Oreo cookie. What often happens is people say, well, I blew my diet. I might as well eat the whole bag. I've ruined my diet. I can't do this. And then they binge and they eat the whole bag. And this is sort of that self-fulfilling prophecy, your self-talk. And so did that one Oreo cookie ruin your diet? Of course it didn't.
Of course not. Yeah.
But that's the mental trap that people fall in.
I think we're running up against the clock a little bit, but explain to folks real quickly, how can they avoid these mental traps?
Okay, so really quickly, I actually tell people include what you perceive as bad foods in your diet every day. Have a cookie, have a little bit of chocolate. And so when you start to loosen up your diet a little bit, then these foods sort of lose their aura. And so you tend not to see them as treats. Just include a little bit every day, and then you will tend not to overeat on them because they're just a small part of your regular diet. Also, stop thinking I can't eat that. That's not on my diet. Yes, you can eat that. There's nothing you can't have in small amounts. I also recommend slowing down and enjoying your food so you get that mental satisfaction. Avoid eating on the run, in the car, running to a meeting. And then also watch out for inaccurate self-talk. Things like, I ate a cookie, I ruined my whole diet. Let's really stop. Take a step back. Did eating one cookie ruin your diet? Of course it didn't.
That is good perspective this morning from our diet nutrition expert, Dr. Beth Kitchen. Good to see you. I just appreciate through this entire segment, because a lot of this you're talking to me. I got no condescending looks from some of my coworkers, which was amazing. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Things I've got to work on, that's for sure.